Good afternoon, ambitious business owners. Welcome to Tuesday. So every week I discuss a different topic that somebody has requested or messaged me about, or there's been a conversation and somebody wants some answers on it. So this week I'm talking about the considerations for taking your product into a retail store. I get asked this an awful lot. I've helped a lot of business owners to prepare their product to go into retail. But I think what also helps my background is that I've been in retail, so I've managed retail, I've worked in retail stores, so I've seen it from the other side of the fence too. And obviously I've been marketing products for quite some time now. So it's a common question because it's an exciting time for your business. You've put your blood, sweat and tears into this product. You're excited by it, it's selling, maybe you're just selling online at the moment, maybe you've done some pop-ups and markets, but now you want to see if stores are interested in it, which is fantastic, such an exciting time. But there are some things you need to consider before you take it in, because you don't want to ruin the opportunity and have a retailer turn you down simply because you made a few schoolboy errors. And it could ruin your chances in the future because they might just think, oh, waste of time, they didn't come prepared. Now, there's lots and lots of considerations and I can't cover them all today. If anyone's got a specific question or they need some more in-depth one-on-one help, then I'll pop my diary booking into the links below afterwards, or obviously you can message me and we can arrange to have a chat and see if I can help you ongoing. But as ever, any comments or questions, please stick them in the comment box. So I'm just going to pick a few, as I say, because I have a huge long list of things that I would go through with somebody. So one of the first things is your product trademarked? Have you protected all your IP? Have you got the correct insurances for it? Which if you've been selling it online, generally people have, but there are some people who overlook it. They've just started selling themselves. Maybe they've even sold on maybe Etsy or as I say, just on markets and pop-ups. It's really important because it's one of the things that retailers will need to know. They can't have unlicensed products, or you don't want to be selling a product that then gets copied later down the line. So it's important to cover yourselves and make sure you've got all that in place. Okay, one of the other things that people forget to consider is their ability to resupply the retailer. And what I mean by that is working out the logistics of how can they reorder. Are you going to be checking in with them if they're not in your state or local to you? Is there an order form? Can they order easily online? What's the shipping considerations, packing, all that sort of stuff? How are you going to make sure that this retailer has always got stock? Because there's nothing worse for a retailer to take on a product, it's popular, they work hard in store to sell it to their customers like it, and then they sell out and they can't get any more and they've not heard from you. It's a really common issue with small businesses who take their product into retail. They get so excited, they pick up some new retailers, but then they don't look after their retailers. It would be a bit like you not looking after your website or not packaging your products properly. Your retailer becomes your second shop front outside of your website, and you need to look after them, and that means making sure they're stocked, making sure they've got the information they need. If there's any promotions running, are you going to do social media with them? Are you going to share content with them? Are you going to give them some point of sale material? How can they display it in their shop? Have you got suggestions? Have you got display equipment? Is there particular shelving or hooks or stands? Or, you know, you've got to imagine you're a shopkeeper and someone's presented you with this product. You don't know anything about it yet. You've got to educate that retailer, because the more you can educate them, the more you can look after them the more likely they are to sell your product for you, because it's in the front of their mind. They're confident enough to know how to sell it and which customers will like it. They'll recommend it. It makes it easy for them. But if they're struggling to understand it, they don't really know where to put it, they can't display it because it's maybe an awkward size or shape, or it doesn't stack, or it doesn't have a stand for it, whatever it might be, you've got to make it easy for the retailer. Now, ideally, I would always go and visit a retail store and check out if it's, obviously you've sussed it out as to where you want to position your product, and if you know that you want a particular retailer, you can go and see them. Great, build that relationship with them, look at their store, consider where it could be and where it could sit. Make sure the price point's right for the other products they've got. So you've really got to do your homework with who you're taking it to, but that's another conversation. The important thing is that you help that retailer once you take that product to them. I'll just cover one more, because I like to keep these lives fairly short and sweet, so that you can watch them in your spare time in a few moments. The other thing you need to consider is, what are the sort of terms for this retailer? And you'll want to get a full set of terms and conditions for them. But terms such as, are they allowed to put the product on special offer and run promotions? Now, in Australia, you can't dictate the price. You can give them the RRP, the recommended retail price, but you can't dictate to them what they stock it for. Generally, the retailer will stock it at the recommended retail price. But for example, if you've got the products into David Jones, for example, or a big department store, they will run promotions and offers at all different times of the year. So your product is likely to go on special offer in one or more of your retail outlets. How does that work with what you're selling them for and your customers that have maybe shopped direct with you? Are you going to still sell yourself, or are you going to purely wholesale? Are you purely going to send to retail and people can't buy it direct from you? That's one strategy. A lot of people started out by selling their product retail first, direct to the customer, and so they don't go back on that and they carry on doing that. But all these questions you need to be asking yourself as to to ensure that the retailer is clear on what they can and can't do, and your policy on things. The other question you might want to consider is, do you have samples or display products and that sort of thing? If you've got a particularly expensive product or it's very large, the retailer might not want to stock too many of them, and so you may give them a display one so that they can just maybe keep one or two in stock in the back storeroom. Again, it depends on how much space they've got, or you're going to drop ship to them. Consider how you're going to support that retailer with that sort of thing. They might not want every colorway of something. So if you've got a range of products and there's different colors or maybe different sizes, you might say to them, well, maybe you stock one of each color and then I'll give you the different size options, and they can just pick one or two. You need to think about the right range and the size of the range for them. Some retailers might suit a certain range of your products, whereas others another. But again, if you've considered all this, in light of the retailer that you're going to, it's making it easy for them. You've done the hard work for them. They've not got to work it out for themselves and say, oh, well, I can't fit all that, and how many can I have? And I can't fit so many sizes, so it turns them off and they think it's all too difficult. Really do your homework on the retailer and make it easy for them, because you've answered all these questions already. Okay, so we're coming up to the 10-minute mark. That's probably enough to start with and to get your mind ticking over with the sorts of things you need to consider. As I say, it is quite a big topic. I'll spend all day with a client going through all of the considerations for their particular product and the types of retailers they're going to. So I can't cover it all off now. Pop your questions in the comment box. I'll stick my diary in there if anyone wants to chat and needs more help, And otherwise, I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks, guys.